One of the biggest complaints with this stand is how this these things get sticky and they get hard to push over. And what's really happening is that the back side of this tube is dry in there, and this is dry too. And when you put it in there, it's got to, if you watch it, it's got to shift a little bit when you push it over. And you're putting something dry against something dry, and it's hard to open and close, especially with gloves on. So what they do when they assemble these is they wax the inside of this. And you should do that once a year just before season. Here I got some bowstring wax. And what I'll do is I'll push a little of that out. And I take a toothbrush. And you get it on the toothbrush. Mow it on there. You want to make sure you only wax the back side on the inside here. Never wax the belt and never wax the other side because you don't want the teeth being slippery. You just want this to slide in there. So once you get this waxed up, this will slide in there easy. I can just use 2 fingers. Alright, when we fold the stand out, all you have to do is turn this knob, turn the knob on the other side, and then we pull these out as we lift it up. And if you look over at this one, you'll see it has a spot where it slides into. You just pop them up like that and tighten both sides. And one thing that's important with these is that you tighten them again once you get climbed up, because they will loosen from the stress that is twisting around when you're climbing. Okay, when you do your annual maintenance, you're going to want to look and make sure these screws and stuff aren't loose. Try moving this thing around. Make sure these are nice and tight. Make sure these ones are tight. Nothing's loose. Nothing's shaking around on you. And especially with these tops. If you look at this, it's quite common for these to come loose because they're flipping around. See, this one is loose. It needs some adjustment. See that? That's quite common. That's the thing that comes loose the most often. So this has to be tightened up quite a bit. So good thing I checked. And you should check this once a year just before you hunt. Or if you feel anything loose while you're hunting. Alright, when we're packing this up, a lot of guys will have this hanging out like this. Bad idea if we're going through thick swamps. Take it and put it in as far as it'll go. So collapse it as far as it'll go. Close it. Take your top, and you want to take your top and do the same thing. This one's kind of open. So collapse it as far as it'll go. You might notice my bar's a little different. You guys have an extrusion on yours. That's because this was the prototype when we originally made the stands. And you take it, and there's these 2 knobs right here, these 2 nuts in the back sides of the bolts. What you're doing is you're inverting the seat like this. And those 2 nuts are going to slide right up against here. Just like that. And that's going to stop it so it sits right like that. You take your bungee, you go right where the diamond is. You go around the diamond, go over the straps. Now there's nothing to catch brush. What I like about this thing is the whole thing is only 17.5 pounds. Real mobile. The hard part is you got to find a straight limbless tree. All right, here's a nice straight tree. Show you how I get this thing going. What I do is I lay it down flat so I can make it quiet. Move any limbs or anything that are in the way. Lift it up just enough to unhook it. Take the top off first. Flip it around. Open it up. Put it around the tree. Getting a little bit of an angle. Pull her tight. Bite it in a little bit so it doesn't fall on you. Then I'll open these. Close them tight. Now you can do those knobs a lot quieter if you just go slow with them. Just roll them over like this. Then they're real quiet. Okay, I got it on a nice angle. Now a lot of guys have the cinches that cinch top to bottom. I'm just old school. Back when we invented the stand, we didn't have that. And I've just gotten real used to using it like that. I use a bungee to secure my top. What I do is you use the same bungee that puts it together. Put it around like this when you're up there in your hunting spot. And bungee it on. So for now, I'll just wear it like a belt until I get up there. So a lot of guys have a big problem with climbing with these. And what the problem is they're used to other brand of climbers. And what I mean by that is most of them have stirrups, and the stirrups are out further. With this stand, you put your feet underneath here. And because of that, you can't just keep climbing. You can't go like this, then raise this and climb, or it becomes very difficult to climb. So what you have to do is you raise it, take a step back, bite it in, raise the top, put your feet in there, just lean forward, raise it. You can go real quiet. It literally takes no effort to climb like this. People say that this is hard to climb with, and really it's because they're struggling. They're not putting their feet back when they climb. If you try leaving your feet in there, like some people do, look how difficult this is to get this down. That's the whole problem people are having with these. You have to step back when you move the top. Once you learn that, it's simple. Now, what I like to do is get this seat so it's nice and high, real high on my butt. It's just personal preference. Right about there. Then I put my bungee on. Now of course I'm going to get complaints because I'm not wearing a safety harness. I'm only 5 feet off the ground. When I hunt I have a safety harness on. Okay, so now it can't fall because it's got the bungee on it, right? So what I like about this is I can sit up here and lean against the tree and be part of the tree. And then when I'm ready to shoot, I can just lean up and shoot. So the seat really doesn't get in the way. And if I feel like standing for a while, I'll just shift it around to the back and leave it over there and stand for a while. And a lot of times, if I'm just going for a quick hunt, I don't even bring the top, I just bear hug the tree and take the bottom. Now another thing that's unique about this too is, now this tree is straight, but if it were crooked, you can literally put the stand on an angle so that you're straight, and it'll stay like that because of the belt. So you can put it on crooked trees.